Proxy Table Gaming. Hello, I am G. Lucky Sixes is with me as always.
Yo, yo, yo.
We had a yo ho, didn't we, in the last one?
We had a
Not
yo
a
ho,
yo.
yo yo.
Mm.
Next one, YOLO. So
Well, absolutely. It should be, really. Whether you remember that on the next
I
recording
won't.
session is
I
another
won't.
thing
That's
entirely.
yeah.
Cool. So, round 3, Cardiff. Boom.
Boom, baby. So the end of the day, long day, 3
Long
games.
day.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah, I'd say that every time we go to a
Actually,
tournament.
let's quickly just say thanks to Tanker, who arranged our Airbnb.
Oh
Um,
yes,
we stayed in on the Friday night
we
and
did.
Saturday
Yeah,
night. Massive thanks to you, Tanker. Sorted us out. It meant a lot less stress of arranging your own accommodation.
yeah, it's
So
really
we
nice as
jumped in
well.
there and yeah, really, really cool. Jake was there as well. Ryan obviously stayed with us. So yeah, it was a nice little base. But
Yeah,
anyway, carry on.
no, good shout out.
Yeah.
Cheers, Tank. Yeah. Otherwise, gaming day. The day before, then 3 days. It's 5 games in is long. But to rejig my motivation, it is a YouTube off against
Mm.
James Ledward and his Sylvan Elves.
Oh, Sylvan Elves.
James Ledward of an Amateurs Adventure, AAA Gaming.
Yeah.
As he calls
Very
it,
good.
which is very cool. Really good channel, really good reports, and Sylvans as well, which is I'm particularly interested in because at some point I'll be starting them. So I need to. It's always good to see his channel and what he's using and how to use it. So go over there, check it out. I'll put a link in the description. There's going to be so many links in the description at the minute for just different things. Go check out the description. Is another half an hour after this.
Yeah, that's fair.
What
you
can do. But yeah, certainly do check it out. He's really, really good, and he's a really good bloke to talk to in person as well.
Really nice chap.
I had a really, really fun battle coming up. As I say, his report on this game is out as well. So if you want both sides of it, and that's probably how I'm going to do it. He did ask me a few questions. I'm going to put in the comments
of his video.
All the
rather than
that
directly answering them in this one.
Yes, so there's things about, say, the Frost Phoenix, for example, and things like that that he's asked. But so go check him out. Go check his comments, leave a comment, share, subscribe, and all that jazz, and see his hot take on it. And this is my hot take. On what I thought.
Definitely subscribe to James's channel as well, because we're up for like enhancing the community as a whole. We're up for bigging up everyone else as well as ourselves. So get some subscribers to James's channel, make the community grow.
Yes, absolutely. So Sylvan Elves, and as a matchup, I was kind of liking it. There's obviously my list. Queensguard are the mainstay with Young Dragon and Seaguard heavily supporting. There's always that big thing between Phoenix and Reimer at the minute.
There is.
We've got a big combination, so I kind of half answering this question, but also I've got Phoenix and I kept the Reimer in because I need to see who's better in the overall. They're pretty much the same points as well. So,
but I think the Reimer had a bad round too, didn't they?
They didn't kill a Frost Phoenix, which is ironic.
That's right.
In many regards, really. So they're not having a good. And in the first game, they kind of zoned a Carnosaur.
Until they didn't flee a Carnosaur.
Until they didn't. But that's me rather than them. I can't blame them. Poor souls. They
got a pass on that one.
They're taking orders. They're going, "Are you sure, boss?" I'm like, "Yeah, hold." Are you sure? So I can't blame them. I'm afraid that one's on me.
But round 2 was on them.
But round 2 was completely on them. I did exactly the right thing, and they fucked up. So we'll call it 1-1. But in both, the Phoenix has been pretty good,
solid,
as well, and solid. So so far, the Frosty is winning. And we'll get into that a bit later. Onto his list, and it's a druid on a dragon, which is cool. He already gets cool points. Avatar of Nature, which is a beast, man. So many attacks. I think strength 7, AB 4. Just a brutal guy. I'm not really sure. I haven't played much against him as well, so I'm not really sure what they can do. But it doesn't sound good on paper. Like for me, so I want to engage him with as many different things as possible, really, or just engage him. The BSB is in the Blade Dancer unit, and Blade Dancers I do quite like, and I respect them a lot. Probably when I play Sylvan Elves, which isn't much, I do play Blade Dancers, so they're really, really good. They chew up stuff. They do die, so I'm not too bothered, and they're not scoring, especially for this objective, which we'll get into. It's not too bad.
Yeah.
The Wild Huntsmen are really good, so I need to be careful of them. And then the Pathfinders. It doesn't, on paper, it doesn't look like a very shooty list, so I think I outshoot him, especially
Not many models either.
No.
My model count is pretty low overall.
Yeah, very much so. So it's just those Dryads, and I think for the most part, my core, so Spears and Seaguard, can take Dryads. So I'm looking, if I can get the right matchups, I think this is a good matchup for me, especially with Pyro adding to Queensguard. Queensguard will have a field day. Just in my head, they're just going to go to town on everything. Everything they want to. So as long as I can keep them in a good spot, we're doing good. Quadrants and dominate the field. You might have seen this from Hyper-G's battle, but basically at the end of every turn, so not player turn, but every round turn, you score up. So 1 for your own objective, 3 for the enemies, if you can get a scoring unit in it, and you need to have more in it to get the points.
Correct.
And the neutral zones, the 2 outside, count as 1. So even if you've got 3 over on one side and none on the other, and the other person's got 1 and 1, you still win because you've got 3 versus 2. So yeah, interesting one. One I'm not too. I think we're fairly even in. He's got Dryads, which can go everywhere. I've got the Rymanites can go everywhere. So it's an interesting one. I'm not quite sure how that'll play out. But we get down to deployment, and he drops for first. And this is actually after Scout.
How rude.
Yeah, well, it was a good move, really, in the end, because he dropped for first, and I was pretty happy because I gave him the side with, and I'll move us slightly to show his deployment zone. He had 2 impassables, so I had to choose this side with the hill because it made the most sense. My original plan was to go on the hill and then move off it, but I needed to be when he deployed like he did. Dryads out on the right. There's another Dryads at the back behind the house. You can just about see him. It was I had to be a bit more aggressive with my units than I wanted to. I wanted to sit way back and just let him come into the zone and shoot. But obviously, he would get the quadrants if I did that. So I needed to be on the line as much as possible. So my Seaguard front and center, Queensguard next to him, and a Reaper there. I've got my Rymanites in the back. I denied about them the most. Basically, there to stop any silly scouting shenanigans Pathfinders getting in behind me, but also they got enough movement where in a couple of turns they can get out. I don't really like their matchup in this, my Rymanites in this actually, because there's enough APs, shooting out there that can kill me. They don't really like the Dryads. They don't really like the Blade Dancers, and they certainly don't like the big boy. Either of them, really. So there's not much I really like them going into. If any of the big monsters have 1 wound left, maybe. But
I mean, that's confident talking, though.
I know, but
with a high agility army, if he's got 1 left.
Well, I was with the Carnosaur. I was like, well, if he can get down to 3, I can take that risk. Bomb him in. So it's a similar here. Only they have Aegis saves, and I just don't like. I think he can get enough at the Rymanites if I'm not careful to just make them a non-worry. So I put him there. that's
a long way of saying you put them there. Yeah, fair enough.
On the other side, I've got a Seaguard Reaper, Suicidey behind the hill with my dragon. And then the spears are there basically to creep into that quadrant and stay there. Maybe have a flank charge later on, but just to get some.
Are his scouts deployed there?
Yes, they are. So I didn't. Again, his scouts aren't there at the moment. Well, when I deploy, and once he puts them there, I realise that they're going to go to town on the Queen's Guard.
Well, he's going first.
And he's going first. So, I mean, going first was huge, because if I go first, and he knows that at the point of dropping his scouts, he doesn't put his scouts there, because his scouts just die. So what he's doing is he's trying to neutralise my shoot. It was very, very clever, actually, trying to neutralise my shooting and destroy the biggest threat to his whole army, which is the Queen's Guard. And it was very obvious at this point, and I was like, maybe I can put them a bit back. I don't know. But yeah, so the reason I didn't put them back was because of the quadrants. I needed to put them fairly on the line so that I could get in if I needed to. Because I thought if I can get an early lead, that will really help me in shooting and stuff. But yeah.
Arguably, though, with him dropping for first and having scouts, it doesn't matter if you deploy back in your deployment zone. He can still shoot you.
True.
So once he's got first turn and scouts, even if he has to start 18 inches away, he's still going to pull that same move. So I wouldn't necessarily call that a mistake on your part.
Just unfortunately for me, it's the Queen's my best unit. So yeah, but I'm hoping he just fluffs. If he has a round of fluffing, and like I said, it's not overly shooting. It's only 20 shots.
No. Yeah.
This is another picture, I think. This shows his vanguard.
Oh, sure.
Of the units there.
The Heath Riders, yeah.
The Heath Riders. And then onto his turn, and I'll have to move us over. You can see before I do. In fact, I'll put this thing. I reckon I'm going to move us all around the video as it goes. But yeah, everything's all the Heath Riders and stuff have just come up to shoot at the Queen's Guard. One has even chaffed my Sea Guard from going against his Dryads as well, which is fair enough. I don't think I ever really want to charge with the Sea Guard because of the spears bonus. I think I always want to be charged, but I've got to be careful not to be charged in the flank. So the way I position myself will be crucial. But yeah, he's moved up, basically.
You've got a little bit of a split. You've got two armies on the go, haven't you? Really?
Yes.
You've got your units behind the hill, and then you've got your units that are going to be swamped in front of the hill.
Yeah, very much so. And his avatars come up not too aggressively, but a bit. I think that was a max move from him, because he's only movement 5, I think. So he's not the quickest, but I've got to be careful of him. His Wild Hunters are up there as well as for a counter charge. I'm actually not too bothered by the Wild Hunters at this point, because if he goes into my Sea Guard, my Spear Lord is a higher agility than them. And
all Wild Huntsmen need to do is attack first.
Yes, and my Spear Lord does, which should kill at least half of them, at least 4, because they haven't got any armor really to. They've only got the 6-up Aegis, and I've got. I think I could probably do 6 wounds from my 4 attacks, but then he does a load to me, and then my Sea Guard should kill him. So I'm not too worried about them. It's just the multi-charge of everything, really. Which is the hard thing to stop. He gets Stone Skin off on them. I just let it off because I'm not going to engage or shoot them this turn. So I managed to stop everything else, thankfully. And Brutalness comes in. I think it's 11 wounds. It's just started with 18, so yeah. Just ouch. I've still got some, and they're quick to fire, and the guy, the BSB, has 3 shots, so it's still a decent. I've still got like 10 shots, but that's brutal on my best unit. So hey, Sylvan Elves can shoot. Who knew, right? On my turn, I take the charge just to get some points. I am actually a little bit worried at this point because of how much damage they've done to my Queen's Guard, and can my shooting and magic match up to that? Because I need to at least match up to that in order to win the shoot off. So yeah, I'm a little bit worried, especially now with my Sea Guard having to charge. So it's a bit brutal. I move up. My spears on the right. I don't mind his War Dancers coming into me because I think I go at the same time, if not first, if he charges me. And his Avatar isn't coming in. The Frost Phoenix is also out of line of sight of the Avatar. So I'm kind of like I'm baiting the war dancers to come out of the forest because I don't need them in the forest. In the forest is rubbish for me. The eagle comes up, hoping to chaff at some point. The dragon comes over for pyro businesses, and the Rymanites continue their hiding shenanigans and go behind the wall just in case someone wants to shoot them.
I'm surprised. I suppose the issue is your Pathfinders are what, AP3 on their shots, are they? So.
I think you can either have +2 to hit or +2 AP. So they just get obliterated. To that really. In my magic, so he stops Flaming Swords bubble because I can put it on all. I mean, I'll say all 5 of these units, including Suicide, but we all know Suicide doesn't need Flaming Swords.
No.
But basically, I get Flaming Swords off, which helps all my shooting and my combat for later. And I get it off.
Well, you did have the card out.
Yeah.
But, unless you were stating intent, and then he dispelled it anyway. You got a Raven's Wing off as well.
I can't remember whether he let it off or whatever.
What was your other pyro spell?
Flame. So I definitely would have done Pyroclastic Flow first.
He might have stopped that.
He might have stopped that, thinking Flaming Swords isn't too bad right now.
Yeah, keep his shooting up in numbers.
But yeah, so I get Flaming Swords off, and then with my last dice, because he's used them all for everything, I get Raven's Wing. So with the Pyro attribute, I kill 1. Then I go up and I Raven's Wing up to them, so that I can breath weapon them really.
Absolutely.
And I was really pleased that happened, and he sort of. I mean, I've got so many spells, he can't dispel them all. Pyro Flow is probably equivalent to it is equivalent to a breath weapon, so it's either or really. And thankfully for me, I do like 4 wounds, and he panics because his BSB is way over the other side in the war dancers, the blade dancers. So yeah, really happy. I can't remember. This might have even been with the Raven's Wing bit. I'm not sure.
I think it depends how many you started with in that unit. I think that's the unit of 9, and so you hadn't killed any with the Raven's Wing.
Oh, even I can't remember whether you needed the breath weapon or Raven's Wing did this.
Sure, fair enough.
But yeah, it was probably the breath weapon, and I was very happy to see them run away. Kill the chaff, which you would expect, and onto his turn. And with both Pathfinders. Oh no, with one of the Pathfinders now gone, I'm not too worried, really. It does look like I've done some wounds to the other Pathfinder unit as well, so maybe I was able to.
It does now.
I think what I did was I Ravens Winged up, Ravens Wing killed 4, and then Breath Weapon killed so many on them.
Or your Queen's Guard killed some.
Oh yeah, true. Could be shooting as well. So either way, I've nulled him somewhat. I'm very happy. He needs a 9 with the Avatar, and I don't think he needs a 10 with the Dryads. They look a lot closer. But he declares both, and I really don't want the Avatar in. And thankfully for me, he doesn't get in.
That's big.
And also, thankfully for me, the way it is now, the water just ate up 4 of his Dryads.
Oh man!
Which is pretty harsh, actually, considering the Aegis save as well.
Yeah.
Go water, baby. But yeah, really thankful the Avatar didn't get it in. Really, although with Flaming Swords, it's not the worst in the world.
I mean, would you have slew a lot of Dryads or
would, but he's stubborn.
Sure.
I don't actually twig this right now. As well,
the Avatar is stubborn.
The Avatar being stubborn,
yeah. Okay.
So bear that in mind. This is how it looks after his. So he's charged in, and the remaining moves. The Blade Dancers know not to come out of the forest, so they stay there. I'll move us. On the right hand side, obviously he's got his Dryads behind that house. But he's moved his Dryads up, which was an odd thing because it actually makes it really close to my Frost Phoenix. and when he moves up and allows me a chance to sort of swoop around, I'm like, well, if my Frost Phoenix can stay alive, which he would if he just went after them, and get those 2 units for the rest of the game, that's a pretty good shout in terms of objective and points, because they'll be like 150 each or something. So that kind of, I kind of see that and I go, you know what, that's what my Frost Phoenix needs to do now.
Okay.
So that's an interesting thing to see if I can pull that off. Really, is the thing. Otherwise, yeah, he's just moved up to get proper aggressive with the shooting and things, and he basically chaffing so that his dragon can come way up.
I'd actually forgotten about the dragon.
Yeah. So breath weapon purposes, he's focusing down on the Queen's Guard. He wants them gone, which is the right thing to do, for sure. But yeah, he's gone aggro. Is Wild Hunter stay in reserve, but otherwise it is what it is. And he's Pathfinder's Rally as well.
Okay.
You get Stone Skin off on these guys. I do have Flaming Swords, so I think I'm at like right.
That's the same then.
Out of all of them, this isn't a terrible spell because I'm still 5-ups.
Yeah, because he's res 4 anyway. So you were strength 3. You were wounding on 5.
So it's only my Lord that perhaps does a little bit less.
I suppose you were wounding on 4s.
But yeah, 5s isn't a terrible thing in the world. So I think I let this off to stop everything else. So it's the second time I've let Stone Skin off, which is not a usual thing. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. Here he kills 4 Queen's Guard, but I'm going to have to tell you the order. So he goes first with his dragon, which kills 4, weapon. And you're like, that's excuse me, that's a decent return. But what it does do is it means that all of those Pathfinders that moved up are out of line of sight, bar 1, and I think that one misses. So it means I've still got some Queen's Guard on the board because of line of sight purposes, which was a slight mistake from my opponent there, because they would have been gone, I think. I don't think many of them would have survived. I mean, even my BSB has no particular armor or anything. So a slice of fortune there. So he goes after my bolt thrower with some other shots. Only does 1 as well, unfortunately for him. So is in a bit of a pickle there. From my point of view as well, which is I never normally look at, but my Queen's Guard are in his flank of his shooting unit, so that might be quite juicy.
As is the dragon, but I'm sure there's other things for him to do.
I go to town, really. I'm going first because he charged me. My dragon, my Lord does like 4 wounds, which is pretty good, and then the Sea Guard do another 4 or 5. He goes and doesn't do too many to me, actually. He sort of whiffs a little bit on his attacks. And he's not stubborn or anything. And runs. Loses another 2 in the water, by the way. That's 6. Boy. We need a water count. Swooshes over 2 of them and kills them.
Choppy waters.
Yeah. And it's my turn next.
This is I'm really interested to see what you do with this.
It's fairly brutal for James here, and I'm really, I mean, Seaguard had done the job. Flaming Swords was really massive on this. I think weirdly it allowed me to allow Stone Skin off at not much effect, so really interesting one there. We go on to my turn, and So there's again an order here. My dragon declares a charge against these.
The Heath Riders.
So they were obviously a lot closer to the dragon. They fled. I do catch them, but the guys behind them actually fail. I test to redirect into the guys behind, the Pathfinders behind, who again were a bit up, and fail the terror check.
Oh, wow.
So a few...
The discipline of these Sylvans, eh?
They're not happy. And because I can choose who to go for, I go for the closest, kill these guys. And yeah, I'm in a decent spot with not much.
I can see a bit of a teaser in the bottom right of the screen.
And there is a teaser, and I'll see if I've got a better picture. There they are. With the sun over the thing. So I get the Seaguard in the flank of the dragon. He's got 5 wounds left. I'm not sure I'm going to do the wounds, but I should kill him. The dragon is there as well in a nice place for some DTs. So I'm hoping to do maybe 3 wounds in the combat, win combat, and then he'd flee through me on a 1 to 3 with all his dice. So maybe I'll kill him, maybe I won't, maybe I'll catch him as well. So yeah, really happy with that. My Eagle Suicide is desperate to die, and even though they're fleeing, he moves up to chaff them so that they can't reform or anything, which inadvertently chaffs the Wild Hunters as well.
Sure.
From any counter charges on my Sea Guard, which is very, very nice.
Yeah.
One thing I do as well on the right, I get my Frost Phoenix out of line of sight the Blade Dancers. Woohoo! Game on for his point of view. I put the spears into this flank of the
because you're thinking combat
as
res.
well. Because I've got all the combat resistance in the world. I've got a charge, a flank,
You've got a champion
big
who can
flank,
just challenge
banner,
out, right?
3 ranks. I'm up by 7. This is going well. And then after I declare and get in, I go, "Oh, he's not stubborn, is he?" And he goes, "Yeah."
Wow,
That's a question I should have asked 10 seconds ago.
And I mean, the War Dancers have got a flank into them, so
right now, it's not. It's not good. But he could fail. He's been failing, right? So
not true. Yeah.
And to be fair, what it does do is it stops the avatar going over to my important side. So I'm hoping, if nothing else, I'll just tank him for a little bit, hold him for a few turns.
Yeah. Although you've done what I was doing with the Arantula, your Frosty isn't even facing that combat if that does go wrong.
Well, when I moved, I only asked whether he was stubborn after I'd done my movement phase. I think it might have been in magic phase and stuff when I was thinking about who to buff, whether I need to buff him or not, sort of thing. Yeah. And I was just like, in my head, I went, "Oh, fuck."
Yeah.
That's a mistake, but we'll see. I mean,
oh wow,
it could not go better.
That's
thing.
Amazing.
He does have a binding scroll, but I don't think he's choosing to use it just now. Or he forgot. I'm not sure.
Maybe he's suffering like I do. Remember your binding scrolls.
But I mean, I've got so many spells. I've got the +1 strength and AP. I've got the favorite Melodist flaming swords. I've got loads of stuff. But I get through arguably the best 2 in my hand. So I'm thinking I should do a bit more than 3 wounds now to the dragon, and he won't do any to me. So. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, I've also charged the, as I said, the Queen's Guard into the flank, and I don't rate them as fighting, but when they've only got 2 attacks coming against them,
BSB can do something.
I've got a charge, a flank, BSB, and I go first because I'm elf versus elf. So I'm pretty happy. You got
standard on the Queen's Guard as well.
Yes, I do actually. So yeah, so I'm pretty happy I will win that, and I should tie up everything else that matters to keep them.
Are you
safe.
planning on moving your bolt thrower so that the Rhymer can charge in front as well if needs be?
No, bolt thrower is staying there. If nothing else, if he goes over to that with anything, then they're away from everything else. I don't mind that I'm losing some shots here.
Sure, fair enough.
Yeah. The bolt throwers go, and speaking of which, do some wounds to the wild hunters. You can see he's taken off. I think I do 3 wounds with the bolt thrower on the hill, which is very, very nice, and that will certainly help for later.
Are these dice that you've rolled in the middle one of your classic I can't roll a 1 or 2?
Roll? Yeah, that's to wound, actually. I think I rolled 5 hits and 5 wounds, because strength 4 is 3. He saves 1. Clearly from the thing, so
just gonna shake my head.
Yeah. As you said about the Rhymer Knights, the Rhymer Knights stay there in order to keep the objective for because he's got the dryad
I
at
see.
the back,
I'm with you.
so that they stay in the objective. They can later on move into the neutral quadrant, but right now I just stay in there safe and sound. So they're getting an objective. But arguably I could do that with lancers, though. Is the thing.
True.
So I'm I'm not sure. I'm not sure this is a battle for them, so that's what they're doing.
The Frosty hasn't done anything yet either, so
Exactly.
we're drawing this one.
Over here, and I get him down to 2 wounds, so he had 5 down to 2. I was probably expecting a little bit more than that, if I'm honest, but I win by loads. He runs, but unfortunately for me, gets away. And we'll see that in the next picture. This is a funny one, and we took it anyway. So I go in, I do 2 wounds, which is I'm pretty happy. He doesn't do any to me, which is I'm happy about. I win by loads. I think he's on a 3. And he rolls like discipline, and he rolls double 6. So I obviously doesn't get that. And then annoyingly for him, rolls double 1 on the flea. So if they were the other way around, he would have stuck. And it was just like, oh.
You've only rolled a 3.
And I only roll a 3 to pursue. So I get him with no expense spared. And it was just like a funny turn of events that we had.
Someone knows the odds of a 1 in 36 followed by a 1 in 36.
Yeah, exactly. So just really unlucky in terms of the way it happened. I guess I should, after winning 2-0, I should pursue him average-wise. But yeah, it was just weird how it came up. Over here, my champion dies, obvs, but I'm way up on combat res. But that doesn't matter because he's stubborn. And he holds. And I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah.
So I do janky stuff and I turn to face every...
I thought you might do that, yeah.
At least they're going to be in the front. I don't get the bonus, but at least they're in the front. So I right now, need to do as many wounds to those blade dancers as possible. And I should be steadfast, is the plus. But my general BSB over the other side doing their own things. So
did you not have 5 spears in on the tree, on the avatar?
No. Just go back. No, because I was in his flank. So I go first.
Yes. He's only 40 wide, is he?
Yeah, that was
40 or 50, I guess. 50 or 40 doesn't matter.
And I went first so that, and also we'll look at this one, I could go a little bit back as far as possible.
Because you had 4 in then, you got 4 in now.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an auto charge. I think he needs a 7 or 8. But yeah.
But you won't get your +2 agility.
And this shows his dragon getting away. He took 1 wound going through my dragon.
1 left.
So I had 1 bite at him as he went through, but 1 left, and he rallies, which also means that his dryads and pathfinders rally as well for. Everything's nearly dead, but not dead enough.
Well, you did say if a dragon had 1 wound left, then you were going to go into him. So I'm waiting.
Exactly. With those Rymanites, now's their time.
Yeah.
This is just his movement, and again, he moves his dryads out from behind the hill, from behind the house. That's pretty good for me. Over to combat, and I mean, I do what I want. I kill loads of blade dancers. It's afterwards, so I think what happens is I think the ones behind my unit on the left, as you're seeing them, are the blade dancer death, and he goes for a +1 attack. I go back with as many things onto them as possible and do. I mean, what is it for? 11 wounds, which is pretty good. A unit of 13. And then his tree comes down and does that many wounds to me. I am steadfast, but unlike the tree, I flee. I haven't got a picture of it. Unlike the tree, I flee.
Just gone.
He chooses, because he's in 2 flanks, to flee me directly backwards from where I am now. So going towards the bigger pile of death with both, and he pursues with both, and he catches me. And that's not good. That's not good.
But I mean, you have prevented the avatar from helping out the middle.
Yes.
So did they make a noble sacrifice?
But I mean, this is like turn 4, his turn 4 or something, and now the avatar and blade dancers are all the way over to the left. I think they go
and in his
10.
okay.
So I've got to deal with them somehow with something else. Suicide. Onto my turn, and Phoenix needs a 9 to get in. So fingers crossed I can get in there.
Could be worth the point.
We do a bit of a switchy.
Jiggery pokery, yeah.
Yeah. So my dragon goes to the left. It actually takes 2 wounds from the stand and shoot, I think. Whether I can't remember if he really took anything earlier.
James could have potentially fled that charge from the dragon.
Yeah,
to make the spheres flee fail.
Yes, very much so. But didn't. I did have a counter charge into the dryads, which were fearless though. So if I'd have passed a redirect, my dragon could go into the dryads.
Sure, which would have meant he could have got out of their way. So anyway. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Arguably, he did that so my dragon was out of the way and didn't get the dryads straight away.
No, understandable.
But yeah, he could have, and I could have passed a further redirect. So there was every chance of that. My Seagull go into the dragon to pop the last wound. Hopefully,
come on, take the glory off the Rhymers.
Yeah, I don't need those Rhymers getting ahead of themselves. And Phoenix gets in. So
he fancies it.
A very good phase for me.
Yeah.
I get again Flaming Swords and Awaken the Beast. He lets it off because I think he's resigned.
You're gonna get one wound. Yeah.
I get Blaze off, a killer guy, and because of Awaken the Beast, get a Fountain of Youth back. So again, my magic's been on point this whole game. I think I can't remember what he stopped. I think it was Favor of Melodis.
Okay.
But yeah, so over here I kill the rest of the dancers with one shot, and I think with my remaining shooting kill the BSB.
Okay.
I'll see if I've got another. Yes, there we go. So the ones on the left killed the unit, and the guy on the hill.
A lovely curving shot over the lip of the hill. Just land on the head of the.
Right, yeah. Go with the wind, boys.
Yeah, he's had 3 measuring shots, and now he's got it back on.
So yeah, loads of points there. Obviously, the avatar is there though, so what I'm doing that. I don't choose to chaff him right now because I don't need to. He's too far away, sort of thing.
Poor
Phoenix does 4 wounds. He's got the Thunder Stomp as well.
Nice.
I think he holds. No, he doesn't hold. And I run and catch him.
We are looking at you, Rhymer.
I mean, that's pretty good. He's pretty safe as well. I'm even fairly happy for the Dryads. I think the Dryads are there on where they are. As you can see, the other ones. I'm fairly happy for them to come in to me because I've got the Thunderstomp and all that anyway. So, we'll see. Dragon does the business. Does take a wound again. So I need to be careful. He's only got 2.
Yeah, he's only got.
Kill the dragon. Nice. Good job. I mean, Flaming Swords Awaken the Beast. It was a nasty combo anyway. Turn around, face. Really looking good as well. Those the Pathfinders aren't there. I think also I should say when I said the bolt throwers did 3 wounds to the
Wild Huntsman.
I think something else happened where I might have got Pyroflow off them as well. So they are all gone.
Oh, they're gone completely.
Yeah,
okay.
I missed exactly how I did it. It was a combo. The shooting, the bolt thrower definitely finished them off.
Sure.
But what exactly did the other? There was something did 3 wounds, something did 4.
Yeah.
So but they're gone. Which is, I mean, everything's coming up Millhouse, man.
Definitely.
They go into Suicide, and Suicide breathes a sigh of relief that he's finally going to die. He's been living too long.
Yeah.
Avatar comes way up, marches up as well, and I'll move us so that you can see. Now I've got to deal with him. He does a shooting attack with the Avatar, which is and kills the Queen's Guard. So I've only got my boy left. So I mean, it's a huge 600 point swing that is. But
it's not really a swing now though because it's so late.
No,
if that had happened on turn 2,
but that
would have been a swing.
It's a shooting attack I didn't account for. That Avatar is stumping me. All those different stuff that he's got. But and that's a better picture of it. Suicide goes down. He overruns in the choppy
2 more water.
That's an 8 out of 24 unit, by the way.
Superb.
I know I've killed some with Sea Guard or whatever. But yeah, 8 have died through dangerous terrains, that third of his unit.
Ironically, if one more had died to the water, would he have been out of line of sight from the dragon?
I don't think so, but possibly. So I mean, yeah, all going. I double charge because why not?
Because there's one extra left on the end.
Yep. I get into position to charge. They're not like troops. They can march 8, but even if they do, I've got a charge, so pretty happy there. And for some reason, so I moved the BSB behind the Sea Guard because I think I'm banking on winning.
Right.
Because he can currently charge me with his avatar, so I'm banking on winning and reforming so that he can't. So I'm going to do that. I don't know why I did this with the Rhymer Knights, though. I don't know why I didn't just march them up.
Get out of dodge.
Because I'd won the objective by this point.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I didn't.
I mean, he's even got the speed bump with the bolt thrower to help out on the charge as well.
I don't know whether I had a plan.
But that probably means you didn't have a plan.
Yeah.
When anyone says I probably had a plan.
But I don't know what the plan possibly could have been because there's a really obvious overrun into my plan. So whether I just duped on this, I'm not sure. But yeah, Rhymer Knights.
Well, you're probably just thinking too much about the BSB.
Yeah.
So.
Mate, I might even have wanted him to go that way so that he didn't go into my main units. It might have been a sacrifice. Like, make that juicy enough for me.
No, shut up. No way. No way.
I don't know why else I wouldn't just march him up 18 inches out of the way and see you later.
All right. You made it a juicy option to go the other way.
That's my only... So, Rhymer Knights, well done, boys.
No.
It's another one where you go, just stay there. What?
Yeah.
No, just stay there, don't worry. But he's gonna... No, just stay there. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not quite sure what I was thinking there. I get alt sight off on the bolt thrower, which he lets go just to see if I can clink some wounds off, and awaken the beast. I think now he's either binding scrolled or saved everything to stop flaming swords because to give him the possibility of going in. I just decimate them,
of course,
with everything, especially with awakening the beast now.
You're not going to make them run through the water, die in the water as the final guy.
So I win, and I just reform. Although it looks like I've reformed a little bit, I think I should be back a bit. But the same thing would apply. You would still.
Your centre's moved about 5 inches there.
Yeah, it has, isn't it? I should be well closer to the thing.
Yeah, you should be. Yeah.
No, actually, no.
You pursued. Surely you pursued
this way
with just the spears.
Because I wanted to get into his flank to stop the Rhymer Knights dying. I was trying, but I come up 1 inch short.
That was the plan.
That was the plan.
Right.
I'm sure. It didn't come up. He goes for the juicy option. And
especially now,
I don't do any wounds to him either with the shooting. So I think I went for the single thing because I had alt sight off, and just it never works, boys and girls. He obviously kills him, goes into the flank.
Of course.
Sorry, sorry, Rhymer Knights.
I think subconsciously you're trying to make the Rhymer Knights not do well.
Maybe I am. I mean, they've helped win the objective, kinda, in this one. I do have a charge, and it's only like a 5 to get into his flank. Okay. So again, I've still got a champion in there. So.
You got your spear boy. What are you worried about?
Spear boy. Well, that's what I mean. If I can get a good magic phase off, I make it. He has marched up 8. I make
Phoenix is just having a wild time.
I get in as well, annoyingly for my opponent, there is a position where I don't go in the forest and take DTs.
So
it was so unlucky the way it had gone. But yeah. So Phoenix, well done, boy.
Nice.
I get in, which is nice. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. I get awake, so he stops flaming swords because that's what he knows now. That's the main thing. I get awaken the beast and favor of Melodis. So hoping he won't do too many wounds in total. So that's good. And +1 to strength is always nice. He holds on a double one, baby.
That's all right. It's just a matter of time.
Oh, I know, yeah, but again, it was just another funny dice thing that came up. So I only do 3. He's technically stubborn in a forest, I think. But yeah, that's well done. Well done for holding. My Sliverlord challenges does 0 wounds and gets pummeled to the ground. He takes 1 in the actual combat, and then Thunderstomp just does the rest.
Did you issue the challenge, or did he?
I think I did.
Surely it was
because
him.
I didn't want him. I wanted to win by combat res. So I've got charge, flank, BSB, big flank, and that's it. So I'm up by 4. Favor of Melodis, I was hoping would stop. I was hoping I'd do 3 or 4 wounds with the big guy, because I'm strength 6 against his res 6, all the AP in the world sort of thing. But I didn't do any, and then at that point, Thunderstomp just killed me.
I was going to say, your guy hasn't got any defense. So yeah.
Well, he's a 1-up, 1-up, 6-up, and defensive 9.
Okay.
He's pretty defensive, especially with favor. But I rolled badly. He rolled decent enough, and the Thunderstomp polished me off.
Yeah.
So that wasn't as good as I thought. So yeah,
no.
I mean, I do win because I think he does 3. I'm up by 4. So I win by 1, but he holds because he's stubborn.
Of course, his
avatar is annoying.
Being stubborn,
annoying the hell out of me, man. I reformed to get some ranks for future combat res. I'm planning on championing him off as well.
Yeah.
So I should have now a big flank, 2 ranks, and a banner. So he'll do 4 wounds. I'll win by 1. Another stubborn test, baby. On his turn. Come on. He gets away. Well done. My champion dies, and he holds again on a stubborn 9.
So now you can get dragon in. It will be fine.
Yes, I do. I absolutely. Although I'm like, I haven't got a champion elsewhere. This might not be the best thing, but I've got magical. I charge. Just to finish.
Come on, get on with it. I want to see when the dragon does.
Yeah, just to so you know, I got in.
It's fine. Yeah.
I go in. I don't get any magic off.
You do. You take 1 wound on the dragon.
No, well, no, those have been. I was fully healed at this point.
Oh,
when I went in. That's the only reason I went in. So he does 3 out of 4 wounds to me with his avatar's attacks, and then does 5 on the Thunderstomp. So he's up.
Oh, so it wasn't a duel then.
No, I didn't duel him out because I suppose that would have been. I just needed to survive, but I wasn't confident
you wouldn't have taken
I would
any
survive.
Thunderstomp.
He's got
sure, fair enough.
Yeah, I guess with the extra combat res, but yeah, I've got charge, a rear.
Doesn't matter.
I'm just making sure I win actually. Charge, a rear,
fair enough.
a BSB, a standard, a flank, big flank, and a rank. So I don't actually win because he does 8 to me.
Okay.
So, but I hold with everything. Thankfully.
Okay.
And that's the end
your
of the
BSB's
game.
alive and hanging around, isn't he? So
my BSB, but just like looking, going, come on, boys. But and the Rymanites survive. Is
Frosty will win this one though.
Is that worth it?
No. They pinned the avatar in place so that you could bounce everything else off of it.
And lose my lord
and nearly a dragon and most of your sea guards.
Yeah, it's quite a lot, really.
I mean, the only thing that didn't go into him was the BSB.
Thankfully for me, everything holds. As I said, this is the last picture, and I think it tells you most of what the battle is. Me desperately trying to cling on to points while the avatar goes to town. But
up until that point, everything was going fine.
Yeah, everything was pretty peachy, and everything. I say, my magic was on point. My shooting was really, considering I lost 10 Queen's Guard before moving, my shooting was actually doing really well. on say the Wild Huntsman, etc. like that. So it cleared the threats that needed to be cleared. Apart from this avatar, which took advantage, man. And but overall, really, really well. I did lose half points for the dragon because 3 out of 4, unfortunately, which meant it was a 17-3 because of objective, basically 14-6, and then goes to 17-3. Really, really fun game. Really, really nice chap, and is James. And say go check out his channel for his take. But yeah, I felt I played it well, but I did definitely have the luck on my side in certain things, and my magic was just pummeling through. It was like it really.
You got like 2 or 3 spells off a turn.
Yeah, it was brutal, really. But yeah, I guess I think it was a good matchup anyway because there's a lot of spells that really affect him. So he has to stop every spell with all of his dice. That's what he did. But yeah, it really it compounded a lot of stuff for me. And after that, bit of a scare at the start, I managed to.
And a lot of a scare at the end.
And a lot of it was the middle bit, fine.
Don't
worry about it. But the end turns was like mental. But yeah, no.
So what's that put you on points wise?
Yeah. So I got a 12 from my first game, a 10 to take it from my second, and then a 17. So quicker maths people out there will
39.
know that's 39. There you go.
Decent.
Yeah, really good. I'm 9 over par. I'm looking at what much better than I thought I would with High Elves at this stage. So I'm 11 from my target of 50, which is very achievable. I'm hoping to get that in my next game so that I don't have to do anything on my last game and I can just chill.
And you're already 2 wins as well. 2 wins in a draw.
So. 2 wins in a draw, unbeaten day 1, a rarity. But nice. And I say. It was good. We actually, considering both of us are taking pictures and all that happened, we actually finished really quickly, and we had a bit of time at the end, which is nice.
That's good.
So yeah, no, everything about it was good. It was a nice end to the day.
Agreed. Yeah, nice one.
And of course, we went out and had a curry because that's what you have to do. We even talk about every time we go, we talk about going to like a steakhouse or a pizza place, and we go to a curry house.
Always,
it's always a curry house.
Always nice though.
Yeah, so. It was good.
I mean, I ended up giving away my not too spicy curry.
Yes.
And getting a very spicy one back, didn't I? But no, it's good. Anyway, right. Let's go into round 4 and
day 2, and let's see what day 2's got for us.
I need a big day 2 to salvage day 1. You need a good day 2 to really push on, and let's see what happens.
Can we do it?
Don't forget, like, share, subscribe to PTG and also James's channel, and we'll see you in round 4.
Well, there's before we end it, there is about a few days left for our international challenge.
Veil-Ryder
versus Golden State of Gaming.
Something about they put glory in there, but I mean there is no glory.
The love of a G.
Yeah.
No? Okay.
They're not the G though, are they?
They're not the G.
GG.
Yeah. So, Triple G versus Hyper G.
I know. Yeah.
Play that. But yes. So get your ideas for how we're going to play that and things like that, and we'll certainly take that into account as we're doing the challenge.
Other than that,
see you later.